live again. So welcome
Wonderful.
everybody. We're live tonight with Inspire to Thrive, episode number 8, how to tap into your potential by shifting just one thing. And my guest tonight is Mariana Adelaine. I hope I've pronounced that correctly, Mariana. So
Yes.
welcome.
Hello.
So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about Mariana. Mariana is a founder of Empowering Strategies. Been in the health profession over 20 years now, and also a best-selling author of her book. I can see it in the background there. Your Time Is Now. She specializes in identifying patterns of human behavior, which is a fascinating subject to me, and those particular patterns that hold most people back in life. So she uses proven methodologies to support personal and professional growth in individuals, just like you, just like me. And her purpose, like so many of us here, is to inspire and empower others, men and women alike, just like you, to evolve and tap into their ultimate potential. So welcome, Mariana. And I'd just like to, before I hand over the stage to you with our first question, I'd just like to say, anyone that's coming in, I say, hey, Salvi, pleased to see you here. Just let us know where you're coming from, where you're listening from. And excuse me, make sure you let us know any questions, any comments that you have all the way through. We love the interaction. So please bring it along with you, ask any questions. And if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay, ask the question again, tag Mariana or myself, and we'll make sure we get an answer for you. If we can't answer it, then I promise you that we'll find the expert that can. That's what this group is all about, sharing knowledge, bringing experts in to share so our group can grow and, you know, help everyone with whatever challenges and problems that they're facing. In this group, Mompreneurs, it's all about business, wealth, and self-care as a business owner. So, Mariana, let's get started.
Yes.
My, my first question, my first question to you is something that I like to start with is, what do most people misunderstand about what it is that you do?
Oh, wow. I think it's a really broad range. Yeah, some people think a coach, some people think that is like sports coach and stuff. So it's really fascinating. And some people really know what a coach is because they had experience with a coach. But I got a variety of things, and sometimes they are really puzzled and really curious what it is. And sometimes I don't necessarily say what I do. I kind of share and start asking them questions, and then they get fascinating. And it's like, oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yes, it's asking empowering questions so the client at the end of the day get to discover that the potential is within them and they've got the answers, and to know that is absolutely nothing wrong with them, even though they may feel that at times, and we all feel like that sometimes. I
Mm.
know I do, and I still do sometimes. You feel like, that's something not quite right, or there is something that you can't put a finger on. And yeah, it's really empowering.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. We've got Dave Denver, who I know that you know and I know very well, joining us. So, hi, Dave. Pleasure to
Hello.
have you here. He says, two awesome ladies sharing their wisdom. I like that.
Nice.
So, let's get into the topic then, Mariana. So, what, how shall I start this off? Let me think. When you say tapping into your potential by shifting just one thing,
Hmm.
what is that? What is potential, and what do we need to, I guess, tap into? What
I,
is this
I
magic
guess
one thing?
I guess this is really, it depends. That's a really great question because it's different things for different people.
Mm,
At the end of the day, and I really love what Buddha said, that with our minds we create the world, and we create our reality. So at the end of the day, what it comes to, whatever you every single one of us dream, whatever we desire, we can create that reality for ourselves. And it's important to really understand this and to become aware that definitely we are more powerful and we have more choices than we actually give ourselves credit and believe that we do, because we've been conditioned to actually not to believe that we can do anything that we set our mind to it. We've been conditioned to doubt ourselves. We've been conditioned to look for approval. We've been conditioned uh, to really kind of look for acceptance, to and that's what it comes down to. We've been conditioned to like seek approval of others and to be accepted and to be included, and sometimes all those things are holding us back,
Mm.
and it's really fascinating. So with our minds we create the reality. Because of this, I really invite everyone to be curious about I would say what we will be discussing tonight, and really have that curiosity and ask
Mm.
questions, and be part of this conversation and see where this conversation is going to take us, and where we're going to go, and what gold nuggets you may take out of this. And definitely I think curiosity is a big part of this, and it's
I love that. Insatiable curiosity is one of my biggest things.
mm,
I think that that childlike curiosity, that we had when we were 4 or 5, or even as a toddler, everything is why,
yeah.
we just want to know. We're curious. We want to know how things work, why things don't work, why that happened over there or this happened over here. And I loved your explanation around that. And what I'd really like to ask is, when you say we are brought up in and we're conditioned, what exactly does that mean? And please, guys, jump in with any comments or questions that
Yeah,
you have.
totally. What does this actually means? As we grow up, and I like what you said there. As toddlers and as really young children, we have this insatiable curiosity, and because we are so curious, and the other thing is we don't give up, because until we get what we want. I mean, as a child, how many times do you see a kid asking for something? How many times they ask and ask and ask until most likely the parents will say, okay, I'll give up, I'll give you whatever you want, so and stuff. But as we grow up, we lose that, because then we start to hear no, 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 no. So, and um, at the end of the day, what it comes down to what those around us believe. What do they actually believe? And at the end, them, they were also conditioned by their parents, by their culture and stuff. And a good example of this is, and it all depends where we grew up in, because someone growing up in Australia will have total different beliefs as someone, let's say, growing up in Afghanistan, because uh, this is in the news and there is a lot of turmoil around this currently. They're in the war. So we grow up and we believe total different things. So here, someone growing up here, they believe that potentially anything is possible. They can have an education, they can uh, start a business, they can do anything. Whereas someone there, they will not believe the same things, because they are dealing with total different things, especially when it comes down to being a woman in a country like that. So it can be challenging. So it all depends what we believe, what the culture that we grow up in, it has conditioned us to believe, what
Mm.
is possible for us, what we can achieve. Like I would say, like, let's just say, and I'm not being like, some cultures believe that the parents instill this in the children, that education is really important. And I'm not saying that education is not important, by no means. Education is really important, but they instill this, that you must be a doctor, you must be a lawyer, you must be an engineer, because these type of professions and they mind is respectful in society, and most likely they earn more money. So they encourage their children to really follow those professions, regardless of what the children want and stuff.
That
So
is so true. It is so true in society. We hear stories and things of that all of the time. So what I'm hearing is then that, and I resonate with you, totally on this. That often we are conditioned by the beliefs of others, those around us, like you said. Hi, Kathy. Thanks for joining. And I think it's around the beliefs of our family, our caregivers, whoever they are, our family, adopted family, however, wherever we got our care as children, our schools, churches, politics, even on things on the news, the marketing,
totally.
Everything like that. So we're being so much influenced by what's going on around us. So do I understand then that the one thing that you say that we need to change to be able to tap into our potential, is it our beliefs?
Totally. Yes. What we believe is possible for us. Because if we shift just one thing, and and we have a lot of beliefs. It's not like it's only one. But to simply shift one thing, that and start questioning and to be curious, is what I believe, is it actually true? And what I believe, is it actually helping me get to what I want? And once we begin to question our beliefs, then we begin to find sometimes that some beliefs have no foundations, and maybe I should say, what does a belief is? A belief is an unconscious assumption that we have about ourselves, about others, about the world around us. And sometimes when we believe something, we search for evidence to really that support our beliefs. And we, in a way, we only see what we believe, because our beliefs are like filter. It's like putting glasses on. And depending on what glasses you have on, you will be able to see different things. And I had the glasses here. Yeah, so let's just say I'm putting my glasses on, so I'm not able to read. But if I'm putting my glasses on, then all of the sudden I will be able to read and see more clearly. So that's how beliefs are in a way. So you're not able to see what you don't actually believe, because we're not focusing on what we don't believe. So, and it's really essential to become aware and to understand and to start questioning. And some people are not even aware. That's what I'm discovering. I wasn't aware of lots of things myself before I embark on this journey. So it's a process of curiosity, insatiable curiosity, Jane.
It is. And I think I'd love to share something, if that's okay with you, Mariana. Because a couple of years ago now, I realized that I had a belief, and that belief was that it's not really relevant to business and things, but for me personally, it was around, I can't lose weight. I believed that I could not lose weight because, and I asked myself, understanding and the learning and the education that we've both done through trainings and things like that around behavior and mindset and how mind works. I asked myself, how do I know that to be true? How do I know that belief is really true, that I can never lose weight? And when I took time to think about it, and it took me, well, probably about a couple of months, to be honest with you, to journal and to really think and to understand where that belief came from. And I remembered being in a doctor's surgery, well, quite a lot of years ago, and I have a couple of different medical conditions. And this doctor had said to me, because of your two medical conditions, it's like the chicken and the egg. Which one came first, we're not sure, but it would be very difficult, if not impossible, for you to ever lose weight.
Mm.
And, a doctor being a doctor, it's a registered authority. It's someone that, I guess at that time, I had a belief in that, that system,
Mm.
in that health system. And so I took that belief on board. I took that belief, or the thing that I was told to be true, but it wasn't my experience. It was more like you're saying, it was
Yes.
that person's words to me, the dialogue, if you like. It wasn't my true experience of that situation,
Mm.
because I now know I can lose weight. I have lost weight,
Yes.
so it's something that I have a different belief around that.
Totally. But you see, because you saw them as the authority, you
Mm,
firmly, in a way, I would say, in a way, for that moment, you gave your power away, believing that that's what it is. And
yeah,
I would say to lose weight, and that's the other thing. When we say we to lose something, our unconscious mind is actually going to search to find that thing, and that's
yeah.
why so many people are really challenged, and they go on these yo-yo diets when they put and lose weight, because the unconscious mind is going to look for that
You're
was
losing,
lost
yeah.
to
So
put
I
it
now
on,
I now say I'm going to release it.
to
You know what I mean?
release.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
So
that's right.
I think
Very good point.
it's good to really say to release, because we're not losing anything.
Mm.
It's not like
That
we
that could be a whole nother subject, really, that I'm sure
totally
will have, because
totally.
there is such power in language, and the words that we use, and how our mind interprets them. So anybody listening live or watching the replay, #replay, I'd love to know, and I'm sure Mariana would too. Is there a belief that you have that you would like to change? That's something perhaps we could have a discussion on, or is it something that you've identified in the past, like I did, a belief that I now know that wasn't true, but didn't serve me. So I did some work to change that. And I'm going to get onto Mariana and ask her to let us know how we can start to change a belief as well. So I'll watch for your comments to come up. And while we're waiting for that, Mariana, so if someone identifies a belief and wants to change that belief, how do they go about that?
Look, I think there is a lot of different ways of doing it. I usually take my clients to a really powerful process that I'm sure you do as well, like a DSR and stuff. That's the what I'm finding. And what does this mean? So deep state repatterning. It's like in a way uh, being in a trance, in a way, like
Mm,
in a little bit of a hypnosis in a way, but you all conscious and stuff. It's not like you're not. So that's what I find, that's really a powerful tool that I use with most of my clients. But there is other ways of doing it, as you said, journaling to really
mm,
questions and to see where it comes, to be able to reflect. Meditation is another way. Reframing is another way. How you look at things and stuff. So there is lots of different ways, but it has to work with the individual, what suits that person, because some people may even say affirmations and stuff. It depends what works for each of
yeah.
us, because we all different, we all unique, and we
Mm,
look at things differently, and what works for one may not work for the other. So I think
yeah.
it's a really individual things, and it all depends of how we were really conditioned, and how ingrained is that belief, because sometimes we may need to go back to that belief a few times. And
Mm,
it's not like sometimes it's going to disappear altogether, but once you are aware and once our mind is expanded, it can never go back to how it was before, because potentially before there was no awareness at all. But once we become aware and we become conscious of what's going on, then even, let's just say, even if we react, or even if the world belief comes to mind, then we've got awareness. And then we, in that moment, even if it doesn't happen in that moment, sometimes, like I've got like the other day I got upset with my son. Before, I used to really be upset and it used to take me a long time, but now it's like, okay, I'm upset, that I can switch, I can flip, I can really redirect my train of thought, and I'm aware that I'm doing it. Before, I wasn't even aware. So the thing is, we cannot change something that we are not aware of. So we gotta become aware to be able to change things. So I think
love that. Yeah, awareness is key.
the key.
Oh, we said the same words together. Absolutely.
Yeah, how about that?
That wasn't even scripted. Abby's saying, or Salvi, she's saying that she loves the term reframing.
Yeah.
And I think it is because once you, like you said, once you have awareness around something, you have the choice to take action.
Yes.
You know, and it's really, it's a fork in the road at that point, as the way I see it, that you either choose to stay with the limiting belief that you have, and you get the same results that you've always been getting. Whereas if you decide to go on the other fork, or the other side of the road, and find someone to help you, you know, in a lot of the ways that Mariana was explaining, to uncover more behind that limiting belief, the thing that you know is now keeping you stuck in a certain area of life. And they happen in all areas of life. Yeah, totally. Like you said earlier, there are hundreds of beliefs, you know, that we have. And
I would say thousands.
Yeah. It's just the depth of and often what I know about the belief releasing work that I've done for myself and with clients, if we get one or two of the core limiting beliefs, a lot of the sub beliefs underneath, it's like a cascade of dominoes.
Yes.
You knock one and the rest just fall away. You know, it's actually amazing.
Yeah, totally. And I also do another process that's called compassionate inquiries. That's the work of Dr. Gabor Mate. And that's asking specific questions to really get to the bottom of whatever issues someone is dealing with, to be able to see it totally different than what it was before. Because at the end of the day, I mean, every single one of us, from childhood, we have different wounds, like we being hurt. And I really love, and this Dr. Gabor Mate calls this trauma. And what he says, how he describes trauma, trauma is not what happens to you. Trauma is what happens inside of you as a result of what happens to you. So it doesn't really matter what happens to any of us. At the end of the day, it's what meaning we put to this specific event. And did we had someone to be there for us, to validate our experience, to what we experienced, to be with us? And if we didn't have anyone there, and it could have been something insignificant, but as children, because we put meanings, and if we put a specific meaning to it, then we carry that unless we look into it, that insatiable curiosity, to have compassion towards ourselves first of all, and to say
that's true. I mean,
it's not comfortable. That's
no, we are meaning making machines.
Totally.
for sure. And I think personally, once people wake up to that realization, you know, that we are actually the meaning making machines. And I love that definition of trauma. You know, I've heard that before, but I wasn't sure where it had come from. So thank you for sharing that. it's not what happens to you, it's what goes on inside of you at the
Inside,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, at the time of that trauma. And that is so true. And that again, often what happens to us, or what we make meaning inside of us, is
Mm.
because of the beliefs that we have, and often they are not our own.
No,
They
no,
are those of our
yeah,
family.
you
So
you totally hit that.
so it so it just
Totally.
and that's the beauty of the work that we do, that when we can help someone to release those limiting beliefs
Mm.
and let go of the story. It's really the story that they're telling themselves around that
Yeah.
limitation. Then I'm sure that's what you mean by that you can actually tap into more of your potential.
Yeah, totally. And once we, as you said, once we release the story around the belief and the meaning, and to
Mm,
be able to see it from a total different perspective, to be able to see the same thing from a different angle, is like looking at an elephant. If we look at one, if I'm looking at one side and you are on the other side, both of us are seeing two different things. It's exactly the same.
mm,
So being able to see what you firmly believe in, some, and look, some countries go to war because of the beliefs that they hold on to,
mm.
and being able to see this from a total different angle, it's a life-changing experience, especially from someone that had a belief that's been holding them back for a long time. That's what I'm
Mm,
discovering. That's
mm.
how I discover myself, because I definitely did not believe in myself quite a few years ago and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think if we're all honest and open, which we are on this show, real and raw, vulnerable, that's all of us. I
Mm,
think at some level, there's the three universal fears, of not belonging, not good enough, not being loved. And I think that they affect all of us at some point in our lives, and it's when I first realized or found out that there were these three universal fears that affected everybody, I didn't feel so isolated, or it was just me. It's like,
mm.
okay, other people have these things going on as well, these thoughts.
That
And that in itself is liberating, because it's
that
you're not yourself. It's not just
yes.
you.
Yes, the thing is, most people think that it's them though. They
Mm,
they without realizing that every single one of us at some level have this, and
mm,
even people that work on this for a long time, there would still be something there sometimes, because goes on level, you go to one level and then to next level, there is still some kind of limitation, or some
mm,
kind of perceived, well, obviously it's perceived limitation, that maybe think like, ooh. And if we don't have that a little bit every single day, to do something new, to have that feeling like of uncertainty, oh, what am I doing, it's uncomfortable, and no one wants to go there. That's the thing. And we
mm,
think that whatever it is for us, we are the only one experiencing that, and that's not the reality. Most people experience these
mm.
uncomfortable feelings, as you said, not belong, I don't matter, I'm not lovable, whatever it is for each of us at the end of the day. Definitely,
Yeah.
we all
Because
feel.
I think there is always that. Some people I know, they call it the one dominating thought, and it's that one
Mm,
innermost dominating thought that is always on your mind. It's the core of everything, and sometimes it's not clear exactly what that is. You just can't put your finger on it. But with the help of a coach or someone like that, you can actually, it can be teased out, and you can talk through it through questions and unveiling. So I think once you know what that is, and often that will then come back to a limiting belief of some description.
yes.
And I think releasing that really will give you the potential and the freedom to live the life that you want. And like you were saying earlier, not the life that your parents chose. you
Yeah,
know
because
you're in a career. I have a lot of friends who are in careers, even myself to some extent, although I wasn't pushed into a career,
hmm,
by my family. I was, for 20 odd years, a corporate accountant, chartered secretary, very high up in the corporate world. And did I enjoy it? I thought I did at the time. On reflection, it was a hiding strategy from other stuff that was going on in my life I didn't want to face up to. So I used it as a crutch and just excelled at that, you know. And I think I can clearly see now that, you know, my patterns of behavior and things. So now following the life that I choose to lead, you know, that time, money, freedom, and that life that I want to have every single day is just a beautiful it's a beautiful way of being. You know, it really is. It's waking up and I get to choose what I want to do. And that's what I'm so passionate about sharing, you know, with everyone else as well. The fact that you can do these things. And that's why I wanted to talk to you today, because I think this is such a vital topic, you know, of tapping into your potential with just that one thing, with those beliefs.
It totally is, Fiona, and I really like what Thomas Edison said, that if we did the things we are capable of doing, we will literally outstun ourselves, because we don't actually believe. It comes down to, what do we believe that we do? Like, before I wrote the book, I did not believe that I would be doing it. I did not. I didn't even consider. If anyone would have asked me, like, let's just say 7 years ago, if I would be doing that, I would said, no way. Now I would say, definitely, anything is possible once you set your mind to it. The other thing, Stephen Pressfield said, the author of The Art of War, he said that most of us have two lives. Number one is the life that we live, and number two, the life that we are capable of living. So, and that can be miles apart. And I think most people, and including me, I definitely hold myself back for a long time, because I didn't believe that I was capable of doing what I'm doing. So, and that's what it comes down to. What do we believe? What do we believe that is capable for us? What do we believe that we can do? How do we see ourselves? Because at the end of the day, to be able to see yourself, what do you want to leave behind? What do you want to be remembered for? How do you want to feel within yourself? What do you want to experience on a regular basis?
These are great questions. Yeah, these are great questions. I'll get the guys to type these questions out into the comment box, because I think if someone is stuck, so if you're watching this, you know, this replay, or with us here now live, and you are stuck, you don't know really what is your potential. You know, you're in a job, I call job just over broke. You know, it's never really going to get you to what your potential, to what you're here for. And it doesn't mean to say that you have to give up your job. That's not what I'm saying.
Definitely not. Yeah.
You know, but if you there's different ways of doing things. If you know, this group is about business, and it's about wealth creation, and you know, living the life that gives you that time, money, freedom to do the things that you enjoy. You can do it by, you know, by still having a career and working. You can do it by having your own business. There's no limitations on what it is you choose to do. Like Mariana said, once you put your mind to it, and once you look at the beliefs that you have that perhaps could be, you know, stopping you moving forward, or making the decision to at least try, or even sometimes making the decision to even start thinking about it. You know, perhaps that is the first belief to uncover. You know, do you believe you are allowed to think about the potential of your future?
Totally. Like, I think that's a big one, Fiona, because most people don't give themselves permission to be able to go after what they want, and they wanting permission from someone else. No one's going to give you permission. You got to give yourself permission to do what you want, because at the end of the day, the why I see it, no one knows what you want deep down. What do you want? How do you see yourself, the best version of yourself? What do you see? What do you want to, and why do you want to aspire for more, to do more, you know, to see that version of yourself that's really confident, courageous, that's committed, that's really persistent, that's driven to really go after what you want. Not the version of yourself that's pessimistic or procrastinating or a lot of self-doubt or lack of confidence, because that's what Stephen Pressfield is talking about, the two versions of ourselves, the version that we currently live, potentially with this self-doubt and not believing in ourselves, and the other version, that the version that we can really be all we can be, to believe that we can achieve what we set our mind to it. And that's really empowering to
it is,
shift.
and I think what stops a lot of people, I'm generalizing, but a lot of the clients that, when I start working with them, what I find stops a lot of them is that even the belief that they can actually do it. They can't, they're afraid to put the work in, they're afraid they're not going to be consistent, and I think, and it really comes down to the fact that they haven't come to the conclusion or to the uncovering or the unveiling of whatever it is that they're so passionate about, that no matter what, it does not, I don't know about you, Mariana, but it doesn't feel like work anymore.
No, it definitely doesn't
Because
feel like work,
yeah,
because when you love what you do and you know why you're doing it, like I can stay in and learn and study about human behavior and potential for days. Like it's like I do courses
we
like
have.
with so many courses. Like I've done courses with Dr. Dimartini that you sit for 7 days from 8 o'clock in the morning to 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So and that's really enjoyable. And when you tell some people, they think like, oh, that's like, but obviously
You're crazy.
it's crazy. You don't get, no one has to do that, but to have the commitment. And the other thing is we cannot do it alone. So that's what I discovered. So we need a team around us, because it's important to pay attention and to concentrate on what we are really good ourselves, to play on our strengths, on what we want, and to skill in that area, and everything ours. There are other people that they're really brilliant at what they're doing, and they will be really keen in helping out and designing and doing other things that like some things I'm not good at it, and that's okay. I'm okay with not being good, but there are other people that they're brilliant at designing or doing things that I'm not. So you gotta team up with people and ask for help. That's what it is. Definitely believe that there is someone out there that can offer and can help you with that you are definitely looking for.
Yeah, no, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. So what would you like to leave the viewers with? What sort of, do you have any closing comments around tapping into your potential, around that one thing?
I would say that from my journey, from my experience, from my clients, is for if someone has a nudge that there is gotta be more to life than what they currently experiencing, definitely search and reach out and go and get help. Go and get someone that can help you discover, and start with something little. Start with reading a book. Start with whatever it is, because every single one of us wants different things at the end of the day. So start with where you at. Who do you admire? Who do you see that they are ahead of you that can help you out? And really get around them, read their book, listen to their podcasts, go and get a course, whatever it is. It has to come from within, whatever is driving you from within. And be okay to stuffing things up, be okay with not getting it right, be okay with the journey, the journey you on, to take longer than expected sometimes, because it's not magic sometimes.
Do you have I'm just curious, Mariana, do you have a book that you have a favorite book around beliefs, or something that you could recommend to the readers to, and if
Well,
you don't.
can I be biased and say my book? No, they don't necessarily have to buy my book, but I've got actually a questionnaire. I've got the 9 keys to discover your ultimate potential, which is a sample of
Oh,
questions. Like
beautiful.
in my book, there is 40 questions around beliefs, and this is about nine or something. So
Okay,
you can get a test of and how to look to discover your beliefs and what questions to ask yourself. So I can definitely put a link in the comments once we finish this,
that'd be
and
beautiful. Thank you
that
so much.
could
I
be
appreciate that.
a way of discovering.
Mm. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I
Meaning.
appreciate that. That would be great if you could do that. And then at least, like I say, people have a way to connect with you as well,
Mm,
and to sort of to at least make a start of this. Like you say, there's that little inkling inside, that
yeah.
little voice that's saying, "Is there more for me? You know, there must be more than this, or is there something different I'm here to do?" If that is you and you're feeling like that, then I would really encourage you to look for the link that Mariana will post and download these 9 questions and just have a go. Have a go at the
Mm.
questions. And if you're stuck, you can reach out to either of us with a question here or ask Mariana. There'll be a way to contact her on there as well.
Definitely, and definitely. I mean, it's sometimes can be challenging, but I would say believe that you can do whatever you set your mind to it, because that's my experience.
Mm, beautiful. I
And
totally agree.
I didn't believe in myself at the beginning, and someone else believed in me before I believe in myself. So, um, and
And I think
it's
that's a
happening.
beautiful thing to end this on,
Mm,
because when you find someone, it doesn't matter who it is. It could be, like you said, a mentor,
mm,
someone on a podcast that you're following, you know, someone in this group. It doesn't matter. But when you find someone who believes in you and can see your potential and can help you find it before you can
yeah.
see it yourself, that is such a beautiful gift.
It is. It's
Mm.
really like I still remember vividly when I went for uni. Like I when I applied to go for uni, because I was thinking my English is not good enough. That was such a long time ago, and the selection officer said, "No, your English is good enough. It's nothing wrong with your English." So
Mm.
he believed in me before I believed in myself. So
Yeah, beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Mariana, for joining me tonight.
my
It's been a
pleasure.
blast, and I really thank you. And I know that we'll keep it a surprise, but you'll be appearing in the Inner Strength group as well in a short while. So
Thank you.
that will be really good. I look forward to chatting you again around purpose, relationship, and self love in that group. So I look forward to that.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
So thank you so much, guys, and it's bye-bye from me. So till next time, remember, stay inspired and thriving to do whatever it takes to be your own boss. Be your own boss in this world. You know, reach for your own potential. Each one of us has it within ourselves, and you deserve it. So
Yes.
thank you, and it's good night from us. Bye.
Bye.